Everybody, welcome back to the Perfusion Perspective. My name is Donnie. If you don't know, I'm a cardiovascular perfusion student, and today's episode is going to be on why I chose cardiovascular perfusion when I was deciding on a career. Now, a lot of you guys have actually reached out and kind of asked to hear about this and asked me why I chose perfusion over the hundreds of careers in healthcare. So today we're going to make a video on it. We're going to go over 5 reasons on why I chose perfusion. And these are very personal reasons. They might not apply to you. They're very subjective. So just because all these reasons made me choose perfusion doesn't mean they have to make you choose perfusion. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first reason I want to talk about today, and these reasons are in no particular order at all, is the autonomy that you get as a perfusionist. So a perfusionist is one of the only careers that provide a certain level of autonomy without becoming a doctor, which is great in my eyes. I love having autonomy. I don't have much as a student right now, but once I become licensed, I'll have autonomy. But essentially, what I mean when I say that is, yes, you're still working under a surgeon. The surgeon is going to give you commands to help him out at the sterile field, and you're going to do them. But while you're on bypass, it is you who is taking care of the patient. You are going to be giving drugs. You are going to be treating blood gases. You're going to be adjusting your flows. You're going to be monitoring the pressures while you are on bypass. So it is completely your responsibility to keep these pressures good, to make sure the blood gases are in stable, good condition, and to make sure that the patient is well perfused during the entire time you're on bypass. So although you are going to be taking commands from surgeons and anesthesia, and you're going to be communicating like that and working together, while you're on bypass, you have a lot of autonomy to treat these patients and make sure that they're stable in the ways that you feel are best for the patient. So the next reason that I want to get into is more of a personal one. It might not apply to any of you guys watching this, but it applied to me a lot when I was making my decision. And that is that I did not want a traditional bedside role where I was required to converse with patients every single day. And that's not a bad thing. That's just who I am as a person and what I wanted out of my career. So I worked as a medical assistant in college and an anesthesia tech. So I got a little bit of experience working in a clinic, talking to patients every single day, as well as working in the OR, where if I talked to a patient once a month, that was a lot. So I worked on both ends of the spectrum, and what I gained from that was I realized that I did not want it to be a requirement of my job to converse with patients and talk to patients and talk to families. Now, the great thing about perfusion is that it's not required whatsoever. You could probably go months, a year without talking to a single patient. And if that's what you want to do, that's perfectly fine. But you also have the opportunity. You can go up to the ICU. You can help in pre-op if you want to. You can talk to them, talk to their family, see how they're doing, explain if they're on ECMO or a VAD or an Impella. You could help explain what that device is, what it's doing. You can see how they're feeling. You can talk to the family about it, teach them a little bit about the technology that's going on, but it's not a requirement. So you have that liberty to converse with patients as much as you want to, but it definitely is not a requirement for perfusion, and that was a very attractive thing for me. So the third reason why I chose cardiovascular perfusion as my career, and this one is so cool, but also has a downside to it, and we'll get into that, but it is that as perfusionists, you are the only person in the entire hospital who can do your job. No surgeon, no anesthesiologist, no nurse can come in and run your machine. No one knows how, and no one is licensed to run that machine but you. So it gives you a sense of, I am the master of this certain specialty in medicine. I can do this and no one else can. It makes you feel very valued. It comes with the autonomy because you're the only one who knows how to use the machine. You have the autonomy to use it in using your knowledge to keep the patient safe. But being the only one who can use the machine, it provides such a great sense of value, and it proves that you're needed, and it just makes you feel great knowing that you're the master of something. But also on the negative note, it also can be stressful being in a situation in the middle of the night when you get called in. There's no other perfusionists in the hospital. You're having a tough case. Things are going haywire, and you're the only one who knows how to do this stuff. So no one can really help you all that much. So it can have a negative side to it as well. But being the only person in the hospital or the only group of people in the hospital to know how to run a heart-lung machine and put the patient on bypass using that machine is definitely a great feeling, and it's super awesome to know that. So my fourth reason for wanting to pursue a career in perfusion is the simple fact that as a perfusionist, you're at the top of your field. Now, what I mean when I say this is that perfusion is a small niche field, and as I said before, no one else does perfusion other than perfusionists. There are no doctors or MDs or physicians in perfusion. So as a perfusionist, you're the master of your field. You are the leader of your field. And as the whole group of perfusionists, you guys determine where this field goes. And this is a pro for me because I can go to school for 6 years total, get a master's degree or a certificate in some cases, and I can do research. I can invent things. I'm already at the top of my learning capacity in my field. So I can advance this knowledge. I have the opportunity to do anything I want to help this field grow and make this even a better and safer environment for patients. So I think that availability and that opportunity to pursue all of these different avenues in perfusion with just a master's degree is an extremely attractive trait of this field. So the fifth reason that I'm going to share with you guys today on why I chose perfusion is the technology and the anatomy and physiology that we need to know to use the technology. So the technology, heart-lung machine, ECMO sometimes, it's extremely advanced technology. Trust me, it is extremely complex, and if you've ever seen any of this stuff in person, you know these machines look insane. And knowing how to use them is a skill of its own, and it is extremely hard to learn. That's why we go to school for 2 years to learn how to use it. But it's a skill of its own, and it's insanely awesome how advanced their technology is right now. But I think the thing that I love most about the technology we use is the ability to use your knowledge to effectively use those machines. So anyone can learn the basics of a heart-lung machine and how to use it, how to turn the knobs. This knob does what? Clamp here, that does this, blah, 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 etc., etc. But I think the fact that we use this machine and we also learn all about cardiovascular anatomy, physiology, surgery, procedures, all this stuff, being able to know how to use that machine to benefit the patient using your own knowledge is the better part of it. Knowing how to use the machine is cool, but knowing how to use the machine in a way that helps the patient and benefits the patient, helps them get better, is the amazing part. Being able to read a blood gas, see a pressure, see a waveform, etc., and knowing exactly what to do with your machine, whether that's turn a knob, clamp something, turn this up, turn this down, is a skill of its own. And I think being able to do that with the combination of the technology is an extremely attractive trait to me, and I love that about the field. All right, everybody, that was today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you learned more about perfusion and what makes it unique. If any of you guys have any questions, anything at all relating to perfusion, really, you can put that in the comments or contact me using any of the services in my bio or in the description too of this video. So thank you all. I hope you all enjoyed. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys next time.